Hey guys, this is Vicky, and today I'm going to show you how to use Apps2SD. To use Apps2SD, you need to have a rooted device, a copy of BusyBox, and an external SD card. Also, if you're using Android Lollipop and above and want to link external data and OP data of app and games, then you need to use Chainfire Super SU Management app. So if you have Super SU installed, open it, go to settings, and uncheck mount namespace separation option and reboot. After the reboot, open Apps2SD. If a copy of BusyBox is not found, it will ask you to install from Play Store. Just click on yes, install it. After it is installed, open it. It will ask for Super SU access, grant it. And wait for some time. Or you can go ahead and click on install. Apps2SD will work with other Super SU management apps also, but if you want to link external data and OP data on Lollipop and above, you need to use Chainfire SU. To link apps to SD card, you need to have two partitions on your SD card. If you already have two partitions, then you can go ahead and click on link apps to SD card and create the mount script and start linking. But if you don't have two partitions, you can click on the partition tool and create two partitions. You can select the SD card from the drop down and then select create. Now you can use this slider to set the size of the first partition. The size of the second partition will be calculated automatically. You can also enter the partition size in the text box. After that, you need to select the file system for each partition. So we will select FAT32 for first partition, and if your device supports F2FS, you can select F2FS, otherwise select ext4. If you want to create a swap partition as well, select the swap option and set the size, say 128 MB, then click on yes. It will ask you whether you want to continue, and it will give you the size of each partitions. Once you confirm, then you can click on yes. If you click on yes, it will delete all the data from the SD card, so make sure you do a full backup of your SD card before continuing. There is one more option to format the partitions. So if you want to format the second partition, you can select the second partition and you can select the file system for that partition, say for example ext4. So it will delete the data from that partition, so take a full backup of that partition. If you want to format the first partition as well, you can select the first partition. If you want to format the third partition also, swap partition, that is the swap partition, you can select that one also and click on yes. So it will delete the data from the selected partitions and format it according to your file system. Partition tool might not work on all the devices because it depends on third-party binaries. So if you're not able to partition using the inbuilt partition tool, I suggest you to partition using some other application or using a PC. Once you do the partition, you can create the mount script in Apps2SD and start linking application. When you open link apps to SD card for the first time or after an update, it will ask you to recreate the mount script. You can change the block path if you're sure like this is not the correct one, otherwise leave it. Then you need to select the file system for the SD card second partition. For my case, it's F2FS. If you have init support, you can select this checkbox. If you don't have it, leave it and click on OK. It will create the mount script. If there is any error, it will ask you to reboot and try again. Now we will go through all the options. So in filter, we have multiple filters like system apps, user app, updated app, partially linked, linked, not linked. So these are multi filters. You can select more than one filter. You can also sort it by name, size, so you have multiple sort options: install time, update time. You can pull the list to refresh it. In the navigation drawer we have refresh, back to home, then recreate mount script. The same window will be presented. You can select the block path, the file system. You can remount the second partition. You can relink all the library files. You can rebind all the external files. You can link all the Dalvik cache files at once. You can clear all the Dalvik cache files at once. You can clear all the application cache. You can clear all the orphan data and lib files. You can clean the second partition. You can do a soft reboot. You can do a reboot. In the menu bar we have search. You can search for any application. You can do a multi-select, and then you can select the option from the menu bar, whether you want to link, unlink, uninstall, disable, convert, clear. You can see the storage info. It will show all the storage data, like data partition, system partition, what is the total size, what is the used size, what is the free size. You can see the bind results. Once you reboot the system, all the external data and the off files and the folder mounts will be rebound. So that result you can see it here. You can set the install location, auto, internal, external. You can see the error report. If there is any error while linking, unlinking, those reports will be displayed here. If you want to send the report to me, just click on send error report. If there is no report, you'll get an error. If there is any report, a mail will be sent to me. If you want to clear the report, you can clear it. If you long click on an app, you'll get options to uninstall, reinstall, move to SD card, disable, enable conversion, clearing the data, cache, etc. If you want to link an app, just click on it. The app detail page will list all the data like APK and its size and location, dex, lib, data, cache, etc. The red icon means it's in internal storage. The blue icon means it is in phone storage. The green icon means it is in SD card. So click on link. Now you can link the files and folders like application file, dex file, library file. If something is not applicable, it will be disabled, and the reason for disabling it will be mentioned. You can select all, or you can select individual. If you select OB and external, you'll get an option to either link it to second partition or first partition. You can disable the app before linking and unlinking. Then click on OK. Now you can see all the reds are now greens, and there is a link icon. So that means the file and folder has been linked to SD card. In the menu we have options like uninstall, reinstall, move to SD card, convert, and all that options. You can link and unlink multiple applications at the same time. Just select multi-select and select the apps that you want to link, unlink, or you can select all. Then in the option you can say link, unlink, then select the files and folders you want to link, and the files and folders you don't want to link, or you can select all and then click on OK. So you can see some are partially linked, some are linked. Like I told earlier, the files and folders, the options which are not applicable will be disabled, and there will be an error message. So for example, you can see link application file, it's a system application, so you can't link it. There is no dex file, so you can't link it. There is no library file, so you can't link it. So you can only link ODX and data. The next feature I'm going to talk about is terminal emulator. Open it. Here you can run all the Linux commands and scripts like ls, du, reboot, or any custom scripts. If you want, you can create multiple windows and run multiple commands at the same time. You can toggle between the windows. If you want to send the output, you can go ahead and click on send email. If you want to close a window, click on cross button. If you want to exit, just keep on clicking cross, or you can just press back button. You can also change the color, background color, the font size in the preferences, font size, colors. You can also change the keyboard settings, the cell setting. The next feature is folder mount. Open it. You can create a mount point using the plus icon. Give a unique name. You can either enter the source folder path, or you can use the browse icon. You can click on the up icon to go up, or you can select the folder to go inside. You can create a folder by using the create folder icon. If you want to select the folder, just click on done, or you can refresh by clicking on the refresh icon. Similarly, you can select the destination folder. We'll go up and select the SD card. And click on done. Now we have a bunch of options. You can go through each options, read it, and whichever you like you can select those. Now we have two options: either we can bind the folders or we can create sim links between those folders. But for sim linking we require both the partitions to be Linux partitions, but these are not Linux partitions, these are the FAT partitions, so you need to use the bind folder option, then click on OK. So it will create the pair. Now if you want to enable it, just toggle it. So now the bind is created. If you want to create more binds, this time we will create a link. Select the source folder. So this is emulated card, so this is FAT partition, so this won't work. So we will go to the data partition. We will create a test folder here. We'll select it. Now we'll select the destination. Again, this is FAT partition, so we need to select a Linux partition. We will select the SD card second partition, which is a Linux partition. The second partition is mounted at STEXT2. Here we'll create a test folder. Then click on done. We'll select bunch of options, then we can select create symlink. It will give you a warning like, are you sure both source and destination folders are Linux file system? If you're sure, then click on yes, otherwise you can click on no. We'll click yes, then we can click OK. It will create the pair. Now if you want to enable it, again you can click on the toggle button. The link is created. Now if you want to disable it, you can click on the toggle button. It will restore it based on the options. Similarly, you can, if you want to enable all the links at once, you can go ahead and click on mount link all. You can unmount all. You can do a refresh. The next feature is screen recorder. Screen recorder is only available for devices running KitKat and above. So open it. Here you can see a bunch of options. These options are disabled when you are doing the recording. Since I am already recording, these options are disabled. So the options are video bitrate. You can set from 1 Mbps to 20 Mbps. Higher the bitrate, higher the quality, and file size. Lower the bitrate, lower the quality, and lower the file size. Resolution, you can record full resolution or 75%, 50%, or 25%. You can enable or disable mic audio recording. You can set the sampling rate, audio bit rate. You can select whether to minimize Apps2SD when recording is started or not. You can enable the touches while recording, or you can set the duration. The maximum duration is 6 hours. If you set it to 0, it will record up to 6 hours, or you can set any other value. The values are in seconds. So if you want to record for 5 minutes, you have to give 300. You can see all the recorded videos by clicking on the captured video icon. It will show all the recorded videos. It will show the thumbnail of the video, the file name, the size, the duration, and when it was recorded. If you click on the image, it will start playing the video. If you want to delete it, you can click on the delete icon. It will ask you whether you want to delete or not. If you want to share it, click on the share icon. When you start the recording, there will be a notification which will show the duration, and there will be two buttons, stop and cancel. If you click on cancel, the recording will be cancelled. If you click on stop, the recording will be stopped and the file will be saved. If you don't click on cancel or stop, it will record till the duration that you have mentioned, which is in this case 300 seconds. So I'm going to stop it. The next feature is Task Manager. On some devices running Lollipop and above, the Task Manager might show only Apps2SD. In that case, you need to convert Apps2SD to System App, which is available in the home screen. If you want to disable this warning message, just click on Don't Show This Again and click on OK. Here at the top, it will display the total RAM, the used RAM, the free RAM, and the battery percentage. In the list, it will show all the apps, the memory it is consuming, and the priority. If you want to refresh the list, just pull it down. You can sort the list by all, system app, user app, foreground priority, or background priority. You can sort the list by priority, memory, or name. You can select the app that you want to kill and click on boost. It will kill the app and free up the RAM. If you want to select multiple apps, just select it, click on boost. If you want to select all the apps, just select this checkbox and click on boost. If you're trying to kill a system app with foreground priority, it will show a warning message. So avoid killing system apps which is running in foreground priority. It might reboot your system. The next feature is App Manager. Here all the services, activities, broadcast receivers, and content providers will be listed. So if you want to disable any of the components, just click on the app. Here green means enabled, blue means enabled and running, and red means disabled. So if you want to disable any component, just click on the row. If it is enabled, it will be disabled. If it is disabled, it will be enabled. You can disable or enable any activity. So disable or enable the components which is not going to affect the app, because if you disable something which is necessary for the app to run, then it will crash. So do it only when you're 100% sure what you are doing. You can search the app by name. You can filter by system app, user app, running or disabled. You can sort it by name, total component, running components, or disabled components. The next feature is Hibernate apps. So before I show the feature, I'm going to show some settings related to it. You can enable or disable Hibernate service, and also you can set the delay before the hibernation happens after the screen is turned off. So if the screen is turned on before the delay, then none of the apps will be hibernated. You can set a value of 0 for immediate hibernation, or you can set any other value. This value is in seconds, so I'm going to keep it 0. So again, on some of the devices running Lollipop and above, the Hibernate app list might show only Apps2SD. So in that case, you need to convert Apps2SD to System app if you haven't done it before. And also there are some notes, like most of the system apps don't support hibernation, so they won't be hibernated, and foreground apps and services won't be hibernated as well, because it might break something on your system. So if you want to disable this warning message, just click on Don't Show This Again and click on OK. Here you can see I already have some apps in the list like Chrome, Camera, WhatsApp, Twitter, Plants vs Zombie. I'm going to add few more. So if to add apps in the list, click on the plus icon. Here it will show all the running apps, all the running system app and user app. You can select whatever app you want to hibernate when the screen is turned off. I'm going to select Asphalt, then click on done. As you can see, the Asphalt app is added in the list. Now the apps will be hibernated when you turn off the screen, or you can, if you want to hibernate it right now, then you can click on the hibernate icon. If you want to remove an app from the hibernate list, just click on the app and click on yes. Please note that the apps which are hibernated won't run until you run it manually or you do a reboot. For example, if you have hibernated WhatsApp, you won't receive any notification until you launch WhatsApp manually or you do a reboot. So if you require notification from any app, do not hibernate them. The next feature is Swap Manager. So here it will display all the swap partitions and files and the total swap size, the active swap, the used swap and the free swap. If you don't have any partitions or files listed here, you can create a new swap file by clicking on the plus icon. You can give the size, say 128 MB, and you can select the path. This folder path needs to be in a Linux file system, so you need to create it in data partition, or you can create in SD card second partition. So we will create it in data partition. So I have already created a data swap folder, so I am going to select data swap folder and then click on OK. You can turn on and off any of these swap partitions or files by clicking on the toggle button. If you want to delete a swap file, just long click and then click on delete. You cannot delete a swap partition, you can only delete a swap file. Next feature is Script Manager. Here you can create a script by clicking on the new icon. You need to give a unique name, say test. You can give an icon path or you can leave it blank for the default Apps2SD icon. You can write the script content -a. You can select whether this script requires root or you want to auto close it, then click on done. To run this script, just click on it. It will run the script and auto close. If you want to close it, just click on close. If you want to edit that script, long click on that row and it will give you the option to run, edit, delete or create shortcut. To edit, just click on edit and do some change. Click on done. If you want to delete, just click on delete, or if you want to create a shortcut, click on create shortcut. It will create a shortcut on your home page. To run this script, just click on it. It will run the script and it will auto close. If you want to close again, you can close it. If you want to delete it, delete it. The next feature is throttle CPU. So here it will display the number of cores of your CPU and the frequency of each core. The color green means the load is less, the color yellow means load is medium, and the color red means load is high. Now we have the CPU governors, the normal and throttle one, and I have interactive, on-demand, user space, power save and performance governors. These governors depend on your kernel. So if you want to learn more about CPU governance, go Google it or search on XDA forums. Now you can throttle the CPU right now or on boot or when the screen is off. So if you select the throttle on screen off, whenever the screen is off, the governor will be set to the throttle governor, which is power save in my case, and whenever the screen is on, it will be set to interactive. And if you want to throttle it now, you can do it. The governor will be set to the throttle one, which is power save. So it will set the frequency of each course to the minimum frequency, which is 800 in my case. If you want to do the same when the device is rebooted, then you can select the throttle in boot option. The next feature is SD card booster. Here it will display the internal and external SD cards with their current cache value. The cache value can be between 128 and 8192, and it has to be a multiple of 4. There is no optimum cache value. It depends on the device and SD card, so you have to do a hit and trial. So set a cache value, do a speed test, come back, set a different cache value, do a speed test again until you find the optimum value for your SD card. The next feature is MMC speed test. Here in the card drop down, it will show the internal SD card, external SD card, and the external SD second partition. You can select any of it, and you can select the test file size. The minimum test file size is 300 MB. Then you can click on start. So it will do a write test followed by a read test. If you want to cancel the test in between, you can click on cancel. It will cancel the test and go back. If you want to see more details or the test result, you can click on the result. You can sort the results by type, cache value, write speed, read speed, or the test size. If you want to see more details, just long click on the row. It will display the block path, SD card, the time, everything. If you want to delete the test results, you can delete it. The next feature is logcat. So this is the logcat of your device. You can filter it by level, like fatal, error, warning, info, etc. If you want to search anything in the logs, you can search it. If you want to refresh the logcat, you can refresh it. If you want to save it, you can save it. If you want to clear the logcat, you can click on clear. If you want to share the logcat with someone, you can share it as well. Next feature is SD fix. On some devices, apps are not able to write to the external SD card. So if you're facing that issue, then you can use this option to enable writing to the SD card. The next feature is convert Apps2SD to system app. So it will convert Apps2SD to system app. And if you're facing any issue, then you can convert it back to user app. Thank you for watching the video.